I was never a touring artist, and that was a deliberate choice, I think, on behalf of certain CEOs of Sony. Oh,
Sony prison. Okay.
Because there was a conscious effort, and I have no problem with this. Looking back at it, I'm very grateful for it now on some levels. And on other levels, I'm like, I didn't get to kind of like, what's the thing called when you cut your teeth and you record?
Yeah.
So
because what's the reason? Because what's the reason? Why wouldn't they want you to tour?
Because it was more financially beneficial for me to continue to make album after album after album. Yeah, to record. So if you look at it, and then you look at my first album through when I left, I was still on Sony, but like through Rainbow, like I just did. And Rainbow was because I wanted to get off the label. So I just did that album in 3 months. And I still love some of the songs, but I did that like super fast because I was like, I got to get the hell out of this toxic situation. Not because it's Sony, but because of the professional intertwinement that was going on with that
Sony
situation.
prison. Yes.
Yeah. Sing, but in the beginning it was like just make records, sing, like write, you know, all this stuff. And if I didn't want to write, I'm sure life would have been easier. But I have the need. I love writing. To me, I'm a writer first, and arranger, and I love being in the studio. But the first tour I did was really, aside from like promo tours from the very beginning, with just the incredible Richard T. and Trey and Patrick McMillan and this guy.
Whoa, time out. Richard T. was your touring keyboard player?
Richard T. played on the song "Vanishing" from my first album.
Oh, as in studio. Yeah, "Vanishing." I love. Okay,
that is
a legend.
And then he was an incredibly, just mammoth in terms of his legendary status. And he did come out and do some shows with me. And then it wasn't always Richard T, obviously, yeah. But this is before there was like there were people filming and that type of thing. Like and then I don't know if you ever saw this America the Beautiful performance that I did for the NBA playoffs. I know nothing about sports, so I'm saying it wrong, but like
the first time that you debuted?
Before I went on Arsenio Hall, which was my first like TV appearance.
Yeah, the entire world saw that.
But I'm talking about the NBA thing, where if you look it up, and it's not only my real fans know it, but Richard T did the piano track. I went there with a track to Detroit. I know nothing about sports, whatever. In retrospect, I'm like, oh, those kids who said I wouldn't amount to nothing, they were watching. Those jocks from the school, they were watching. So I had to like do my own hair and makeup. I had my one black dress. I walk out on the thing, and it's Richard T's piano track. You can find it right now, Amir.
I'm looking right now.
I found it.
That's Richard T on the piano, and we worked it out together. I sang it with him prior to going there and performing it, but we did it together in terms of the arrangement. And then I had his piano track, and that was it. And I had to go sing, and nobody knew who I was. And they introduced me, ladies and gentlemen, Columbia recording artist, Mariah Carey. They're like, wow. But then at the end of it, it's the shining sea and the note. And it was like the most, who's the man? I love him. I don't even want him to ever hear this and think I don't remember his name, but I'm so bad with sports. The announcer, and you'll see it if you look it up. And he's like, the palace now has a queen, and the goosebumps will continue. And I talk about it in the book, but I didn't name check him. And I would love to name check him. I'm just so bad with sports that I always forget.
So am I. So you're in good
Marvin
company right
something.
now.
Probably
not Marv Albert. Probably Marv Albert.
Yeah, that's what I think.
No, that's not his name, but he's famous. I can't think of it now. But anyway, that was Richard T. And Richard T played a really big part in that early part of development.
That's impressive company, because Richard T is a legend.